Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV back once more. Today we're taking a look at the Fujitsu ScanSnap ix500. This is the latest and greatest in these, I call them the Cadillac of home scanning. I own two of these. I have one at my office for a file cabinet replacement for all the documents that we use throughout the course of the week there. And I also have one at home for scanning a lot of my personal documents, and I'm on my local Board of Education. So you can imagine how much paper I get piling up. And I just like to get rid of it. So what I do is I scan it into my Evernote, and then I have a filing cabinet that I walk around with that also masquerades as my iPad and iPhone, and it is great to have a good organizational system down. But you also need something that can scan very quickly in that instance, and that's what these scanners are great for. So, if you're just doing a few receipts here or there, or a business card every once in a while, you probably don't need this. This is certainly more for people who have a high volume to deal with. And we're going to take a big stack of paper here and stick it in the scanner. There isn't much to it actually. Once you install the software, it works on both the Mac and the PC on the same version. The disk that it comes with will install software on both. You just push a button and it begins scanning. There are some features that you can change in settings that you can change while it goes. But you can see how quickly this is going, and it's scanning both pages at the same time. And if we switch to my computer here, you can see that it's actually taking the proper orientation as these documents are coming in. So it's detecting landscape or portrait and guessing just through some of its internal algorithms how it should sort itself out. And once the documents are scanned, you have some options that you can do with it. And the first, of course, is the simplest, which is just scan it to a folder. So you get a PDF file that you can save somewhere. You can email the document. You can print it. You can do something too where you can apply some OCR and have a PDF that also has searchable text. Now what I do, of course, is I go right into Evernote, and when I hit this, it just opens up Evernote and creates a new document, and I can just put it in there and forget about it, or not. Evernote, by the way, will also do all that OCR for you, so you can forego the slower process of waiting for the computer to do all of that detection as it goes. So I would just recommend, if you're using Evernote, just do the scan to Evernote directly and sort it out when it gets in there. It also has some features for Word and Excel, and if you have a really plainly formatted spreadsheet that was printed out, it can do a halfway decent job of creating a spreadsheet. But I have found a lot of times people just format these spreadsheets really oddly, and it's hard to get them put together. I do want to show you just how the scanner is configured as physically. It has a neat feature, which is a fold-down door here, and it seems pretty simple, but this actually keeps the dust out because these scanners can be sensitive to that kind of thing. So it's good when you're not using it to fold it up. The scanner itself will turn itself off when it is in that folded position. And along the back, it's pretty simple. You just have a power cable, USB 3.0 in this version. It'll work with USB 2 as well. So if you have an older Mac or PC that doesn't have USB 3, it'll work fine either way. And quite honestly, USB 3 might be overkill in a product like this. It's not pushing a lot of data very quickly, so it's just something I think for future-proofing that everything is moving to USB 3, which is why it has it. The other thing it has on the back here is a Wi-Fi switch, and the other versions of the scanners that I have don't have Wi-Fi, and I'm going to show you what that Wi-Fi is for right now, and that is because they have an app, as everybody does these days, for the iPad and iPhone and Android. And when you load that app up, you can basically take a document or a stack of documents, stick them in the printer, and hit the scan button on the pad, and that document is going to get transmitted over the air to your iPad, and it doesn't require the computer to be on when you do it, which is a nice feature. You do need the computer on to configure it, but you don't need it on once it is configured. And there's a password protection, so nobody can hijack your scanner when you have paper loaded in. And as you can see here, it gives us the document that we just scanned. And another thing that it does, which is kind of neat, is that it also allows you to shoot that document to apps that can open it. So as you can see here, I can get my Evernote, which is my favorite place for my documents to go, but I could also drop them over to anything else that iOS is running that can read a PDF file. So that is a pretty handy feature. Now, one last thing to talk about is the inevitable thing that occurs when perhaps 2 pages or more get sucked into the printer at once. And if you have a big stack of documents, you might be concerned that, geez, did I miss a page here or there? What do you do? So one of the great things that the scanner has in it is a detection capability that can detect when there's more than one page. And what I did here is I taped a receipt to this piece of paper. So I essentially have 2 pieces of paper stuck together here. And I'm just going to put it in the scanner. I'm going to switch back to my computer here. And as it scans in, it is going to detect that there was 2 pages there and give me a warning. So I can decide what to do. I can either keep the scanned image and move forward, or I can discard the whole thing and start from scratch. But it'll give you an idea of where it left off and the fact that you might have to take a look at the scan more closely to be sure that you didn't miss anything. That feature, by the way, also works on the iPad and iOS version too, so it must be something that is internal to the ScanSnap. Now, there is a consumable cost to the printer. Over time, the rollers are going to wear out. Fujitsu's told me that they've improved them greatly over the scanner that I bought about 6 years ago for home use. And I've seen it actually work better, because some documents that I know that the other scanner would get tripped up on, even with new rollers built into it, this one has been doing pretty well with. The scanner is rated to scan about 200,000 pages on the rollers that are included with it. So I would imagine that you'd probably get a lot of life out of this thing, especially in a home use where you're scanning a lot of documents, but you're not scanning hundreds of thousands of documents a month. So just bear that in mind. There might be a consumable cost down the road, but I can tell you just from playing with this thing for the last day or so that it feels a lot more solid, and it hasn't had any misfeeds that I got on my older ScanSnap scanners. So that is the Fujitsu ScanSnap ix500. It is a pretty nice device here. I'm going to be spending the rest of my evening catching up on all the documents that I've accumulated over the course of the week and getting them into my Evernote. This is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.